Thank you for your interest in Alternatives Federal Credit Union's Homebuyer Dream Program. The Homebuyer Dream Program is a down payment and closing cost assistance program for first-time homebuyers who meet certain qualifications. If you have $1,000 to go towards your home purchase, we can match you with $9,500 for down payment and closing costs. Income eligibility varies by household size and county of purchase. Please contact Alternatives for income limit information for surrounding counties. You must be full-time employed. This is 32 hours a week or more, or the equivalent. Exceptions can be made for those who are receiving Social Security income. We ask that you take MoneyWise and the INHS Homebuyers course within 18 months prior to the home purchase. This is because we want you to have the education as close as possible to the home purchase so it's fresh in your mind. You must also have your signed purchase contract before we're able to send your file to the funders for approval. This means that you've had a home picked out and your offer accepted by the seller before we're able to enroll you in this program. In order to receive Homebuyer Dream Program assistance through Alternatives, you'll also need to get your mortgage with Alternatives. You wouldn't be able to get this assistance through Alternatives and then get your mortgage elsewhere. We also require a signed 5-year subordinate mortgage for the total amount of the assistance received. We just want to make sure that you live in the home for at least 5 years. Otherwise, a portion of this funding may be due back. Frequently asked questions. When is this program available during the year? Homebuyer Dream Program is available during the home buying season, typically March through August each year. Occasionally, the funders will extend it until the end of November, but that is not guaranteed. Can I pair Homebuyer Dream Program with other sources of down payment assistance like INHS? Absolutely. There are no restrictions with Homebuyer Dream Program for how much assistance you may receive. However, other sources of down payment assistance may have their own restrictions, so please check in with them as well. What is considered a first-time homebuyer? Housing and Urban Development defines a first-time homebuyer as someone who has never owned a home, not owned a home in 3 years, a displaced homemaker, or someone who is divorced or separated and only owned a home with a spouse. There are several other factors within this definition, but these are the most common. What is considered income? We look at all sources of income, including, but not limited to, wages from a job, self-employment or contract work, Social Security income or Social Security disability income, Section 8, child support, income from a rental unit, etc. I receive Social Security income or Social Security disability income and I do not work. Will I be disqualified due to not being a full-time worker? If you receive fixed income such as SSI or SSDI, you are exempt from the full-time work requirement and are still eligible for qualification based on all other factors. I live with roommates. Are they considered part of my household size? No. The household size is determined by those individuals who will be living in the new home. Do I have to save into a special account or enroll ahead of time? No, there is no special savings account that you need to enroll with. You are enrolled when you have a purchase contract accepted, and I am able to send your file to the funders and receive their approval for reservation funds. What needs to happen before funds can be reserved? You must have a purchase contract accepted on a home. We will then send that purchase contract along with all income documents and a few other forms to the funders for program approval. Can I buy outside the county's Alternative serves? Yes and no. Since you must pair the funding with the mortgage lender, for example, if you receive Homebuyer Dream Program through Alternatives, you need to have your mortgage with Alternatives. Then you'll be limited to the counties we serve. However, if another bank or credit union participates in the same program and serves the other counties, you may get your mortgage through them and receive Homebuyer Dream Program through them as well. I want to buy a multi-unit home. Will you count potential rent as income? Yes, we will count 75% of the potential rental income as part of your qualifying income for Homebuyer Dream Program. This may not be the case with qualifying for the actual mortgage, since that is a separate process. What is a 5-year subordinate mortgage? A 5-year subordinate mortgage is when you agree that you will stay in the home for 5 years and the amount of money you received is forgiven. The funders are hoping to deter participants from taking advantage of the program and flipping the home for a profit. What happens if I sell or refinance the home before the 5 years is up? We simply do some fancy math to figure out how much of the funds you received is owed back. Typically, the longer you stay in the home, the less you owe back. How many spots does Alternatives have each year? The number of spots Alternatives receives varies year to year. Please check in with the Housing Counseling Program Manager to inquire if there are spots available at the time you have a purchase contract in place. What restrictions are there on property types? You may purchase a single-family home, co-op, condo, or a multi-unit up to 4 units. Alternatives requires that mobile homes be less than 30 years old, affixed to a permanent foundation, and are on their own tax parcel. This means that they're not part of a mobile home park with lot rent. Alternatives cannot use Homebuyer Dream Program with construction, land purchases, or purchasing or building tiny homes on wheels. Still have more questions? Please contact Kim Ritter, Housing Counseling Program Manager. Thanks for joining us today.